Derived from the famous air superiority fighter Su-27, the Sukhoi Su-33 was specially adapted for use on aircraft carriers. With reinforced landing gear, a strengthened structure, folding wings, canards and other modifications. First used in operation since 1995 aboard the aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov, it officially entered service in August of 1998. Only 35 units have been produced, but this is an interesting aircraft to attract the attention of the world of aviation aeropedia. During the 1970s, the only fixed-wing carrier-based combat aircraft operational in the Soviet Navy was the Yakovlev. Yak-38 with vertical takeoff. We already have a video about this aircraft on the channel. But it couldn't perform its function properly due to its rather limited range and payload. So, the Soviets set out to design a larger and more powerful aircraft carrier, capable of operating short takeoff and landing or short takeoff aircraft, and not just vertical takeoff aircraft. The new aircraft carrier was designed for navalized variants of the Su-25 aircraft, the MiG-29, the Yak-141 and the Su-27. At first they considered using steam catapults, but later, due to budget cuts, they opted for a ski jump system or launch ramp. The first tests with this type of ramp on land were carried out in 1982. The conceptual designs of the Su-27K began in 1978, but it wasn't until 1987 that two prototypes were ready for testing, known as T-10,000, where the letter K stands for Korabelny or shipborne in Russian. The first flight was on August 17, 1987. 2 years later, the aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov was completed, intended to be the first of multiple carriers, but also because of budget cuts and the fall of the Soviet Union. It was the only one completed. The tests on the aircraft carrier lasted 3 weeks, during which there were 227 takeoffs and 35 landings on deck. He successfully passed the state adaptation test during 90 and 91. At first, 7 production aircraft were made. To adapt the original Su-27 for naval operations, Sukhoi first incorporated a reinforced structure and landing gear to withstand the great stress experienced, especially during landings. The slats, flaperons, and other leading-edge control surfaces were enlarged to provide greater lift and maneuverability at low speeds, although the wingspan remained unchanged. Both the wings have double-slotted flaps and larger ailerons, which together increase the wing area by 12%. Both the wings and the stabilizers fold in order to maximize the number of aircraft the aircraft carrier can accommodate and to allow for easier movement on the deck. The canards shorten the takeoff distance and improve maneuverability, but they have required a redesign of the leading edge route extensions. And they make the aircraft have a slightly lower top speed than the original Su-27. The rear radome was shortened and reshaped to prevent it from hitting the deck during landings with high angles of attack. The Su-33 can fly at speeds as low as 240 km per hour. It is a twin-engine carrier-based fighter design. It has a maximum takeoff weight of 33 tons and a range of 3,000 kilometers with internal fuel tanks. Its maximum speed is 2,679 km per hour, and it has 12 hardpoints for carrying weapons, up to 6,000 kilograms of armament, and an internal 30mm cannon with 150 rounds. The Su-33 carries guided missiles such as the R-73, of which it can carry 4 or 6 R-27, and all of these are air-to-air missiles. But it can also carry a variety of unguided rockets, conventional bombs, or cluster bombs for secondary air-to-ground missions. This aircraft can be used for both nighttime and daytime operations at sea. A two-seat version was also tested, the Su-33-5, which made its first flight in April from 1999, but only a single prototype of this one was built. In 2010, Sukhoi developed an improved version of the Su-33. Flight tests began in October 2010. It has AL-31FM engines, which are more powerful and allow for carrying more weapons. The Su-27K was introduced in the mid-90s, and from December 1995 until March 96, Admiral Kuznetsov set sail in the Mediterranean Sea with two Su-27 UTG-9 Kamov K-27 helicopters and 13 Su-27K as it was called at that time. The aircraft officially entered service on August 31, 1998. In 2009, it was announced that the Russian Navy acquired MiG-29K to replace its fleet of approximately 19 Su-33 in service at that time, with deliveries to be completed in 2015. However, it was later decided that the Su-33 would be complemented as a heavy fighter and the MiG-29K as a light carrier base fighter on aircraft carriers. On November 15, 2016, during the course of Russia's large-scale military operations in Syria, the Su-33s operated from the aircraft carrier Kuznetsov. It was their first time entering combat carrying out ground attacks with conventional munitions. Russia tried to export it to other countries, and China was one of those interested since it had the aircraft carrier Liaoning, which had been bought from Russia. It was the sister ship of the Kuznetsov. But they decided to make their own version since they had the manufacturing license for the Su-27S, and they called this version the Shenyang J-15. And I would like to make a separate video about this one. Separate. India was also seen as another potential operator of the Su-33. The Navy, India considered acquiring this aircraft for the aircraft carrier Indian naval ship Vikramaditya, but in the end they opted for the MiG-29. Until next time, I'm Marcos and this is the Aeropedia of the World of Aviation.